while we're waiting for everyone to join, what I will do is just introduce our speakers today. So Shannon and Neil, hello.
Hi guys, I'll put my camera on to say hello to everybody.
Hi guys, how are you doing today?
All good, all good. Busy day in the office with Black Friday coming up for everyone, so as expected. Not for me as a content creator, but everyone else seems really busy.
Yeah, Neil, I'm surprised you have time to join today, being in charge of the e-commerce team, but thank you for your time.
A push exclusive.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, very valuable. Cool. So do you want to give a quick intro? What's your role at Push? Neil, we can start with you.
Yeah, hi, my name's Neil. I'm an account director at Push, predominantly working on the e-commerce side, so just trying to scale businesses on e-commerce. Obviously, yeah, right now is super hectic with Black Friday tomorrow, Cyber Week, and straight into the Christmas run-up. Then you got Boxing Day sales, then you got January sales. So it's kind of non-stop now until the beginning of next year. But yeah, exciting times.
All good, all good. And you'll just realize like one day it's Christmas and you've just missed all the preparation.
Yeah, you just wake up and oh, there's presents under the tree.
There's Christmas, yeah. Amazing. And Shannon, do you want to do a quick intro?
Yeah, I'm Shannon. I'm the content creator here at Push. I'm still relatively new here, so I'm finding my feet and I'm loving it. I run all the content for our clients and in-house marketing on TikTok, so that's why I'm here today, to fill everybody in on what's hot on TikTok. And we have a newsletter at the moment that you can exclusively sign up to on the website as well, just to keep in the loop of TikTok.
Yeah, it's an amazing newsletter, and yeah, you are quite new, but you've done so much already and we're seeing such great results. So great, everyone. As we're seeing the numbers increase, we can start the webinar today. We've got a really good jam-packed session. We wanted to arrange a planning session for everyone who is in the wellness industry. So this covers fitness, health, supplements, nutrition, beauty even, and really think ahead for January and how to plan for Jan. It's not just a nice phrase that rhymes, but also a really important phrase, because as we've seen over the years, so over the 15 years that we have been running advertising campaigns for our customers, January is such a key period for any business in the health and fitness space. As we all know the trends, we eat way too much chocolate and indulge way too much during Christmas time. And then it comes to January and we really want to turn things around. So that underpins today's session. We have really good hands-on advice from Shannon, who's going to cover everything on TikTok and how to make the most out of TikTok. I'm going to cover your audience targeting strategy and focus a little bit more on paid TikTok. And then we have Neil, who's going to give you really hands-on advice on terms of improving your gains over time and building a customer lifetime value, which essentially will help you get through the recession. So yeah, let's get started. Cool. So firstly, I want to touch on why we're talking about TikTok specifically today. And the main reason that we've seen and why we're really promoting TikTok is the fact that it's cheaper traffic. So we've seen in most cases with our customers that traffic is around half the cost than other platforms. And if you just take a moment to think about that, that means you can drive twice as much traffic and get twice as much return for the same cost. When we are entering a stage where businesses are cost sensitive, TikTok is going to be such a key channel to get cheaper to acquire customers at a cheaper cost. It is an entertainment platform as well, so it's amazing the amount of time that we are seeing customers or users spend on TikTok, on average 94 minutes a day, which makes them almost more, in terms of competitors, more in line with a channel like Netflix and Hulu. So more entertainment channel. And I think that's why businesses are finding TikTok very difficult to figure out, because you have to come to the platform with a story, and it's not just about selling. The algorithm is a lot smarter, so it can keep us on the platform for longer because it's smarter, it's more reactive. It can figure out if we're changing our behavior or changing our interests as well. And 60% of the audience is still Gen Z. So if we think about the future generation and a massive audience that cares about wellness and fitness, then Gen Zs are super important demographic to target. And TikTok is going to be imperative for businesses to future-proof themselves. Great, so I'll go to the next slide. Just a bit about Push. So why are we qualified to talk about TikTok? Well, we're very proud that we entered the UK Agency Awards, and we were actually the winners of the UK Agency Awards, which actually allowed our customers to get up to £5,000 in ad credit. So when you work with Push, you can benefit from our partnership with TikTok, and it opens opportunities for you, such as getting betas, early access to betas products, and ad credit as well. We also have our own case study published on TikTok's website that we're very proud about. So we've seen amazing results this year. So we are especially happy that TikTok has recognized what we are achieving for our customers as well. Push is a performance marketing agency. We focus on all channels, but specifically very excited about TikTok. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Shannon, who is going to take us through the genre of wellness on TikTok.
I am indeed. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Jin. So I will be looking at everything wellness on TikTok. So let's get started. So fitness and well-being, gotten ahead of myself there. So fitness and well-being on TikTok, I think from COVID, we definitely saw a shift in the sort of trends where we were in isolation, and it was something that a lot of people grew interest in. It supported a lot of people's mental health, and it became a routine for people to find interest in. And then aside from that, going even further back, when we look at the trends in terms of fitness and well-being and health-related issues and searching for new fitness routines, the main platform that would be used would be Google, but it's fascinating to see now how TikTok is becoming the visual platform in which we are searching for these things on. So it's really crucial to understand this when we look at TikTok. My laptop is incredibly slow today, so I do apologise if it jumps ahead of where it shouldn't be. So the most popular hashtags around these themes on TikTok, we're seeing hashtag mental health. We had hashtag mental health awareness week recently, and it's accumulated billions and billions of views, and we're actually seeing a lot of content creators show their own vulnerable side with their own UGC organic content. These aren't paid sponsorships, these aren't paid ads, they're just opening up and showing their own experiences. And the next one we have is hashtag self-love. So this is another really popular one at the moment. I think a lot of people associate it with spiritualness, but it's also to do with self-love and positive affirmations and that confidence that you find within yourself. And really fascinating enough, my own personal channel on TikTok, I sort of do my own sort of fashion content and body confidence. But last night there was a trend going along and I involved hashtag self-love, and I've woken up to about 50,000 views, 60,000 views in the space of 10 hours. So it's really important how these hashtags can benefit us. And then we have hashtag fitness, gym talk and well-being. We have these three tying together, and I'll discuss it a little bit further down the line of how fitness isn't just kind of cardio restricted anymore, which leads us on to hashtag Pilates, which is something that's absolutely blown up in the second half of the year, really. It's given an alternative to a new form of exercise. And a fantastic content creator called Cami Sophia, we'll discuss her a little bit later on. She's been the Pilates queen and is actually starting her own app. So when we look at these trends that have started up, we have a lot of mental health awareness, like I said, showing that vulnerability. I think with platforms like TikTok, platforms like other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, there's a lot of stigma around these influencers, these content creators, maybe not showing their true organic self, because it's quite easy to put on a bit of a facade when you go online. Even, you know, when I'm talking here on this camera, we're being theatrical, we're giving you all the information you need, but we're seeing a lot of people strip back everything to show their complete vulnerable states, that they become relatable, and showing how they progress out of that state. And this ties in really nicely with the idea of the glow up transition. So when I talk glow up transition, you might buy an old house, completely renovate it. That's a glow up. You might have an awful breakup from a really bad man. That's going to be your glow up breakup. So these transitions of glowing up from a before and after effect is something really popular on TikTok. And it ties in really well with mental health, where people are showing, you know, their vulnerable state in an anxious state or a depressed state, an episode or where they were struggling in a hard time, compared to what helped them get out of that state. And often that's to do with, you know, gut health. We're seeing fitness, things like Pilates, having a routine, which shows that before and after, which ties in again with the Pilates taking place. So the second half of this year, really blowing up that people are fitting into their routine as a quick alternative to maybe long durations of cardio. And then the self-care routine. This is another huge one. It's the wellness is about having more of a routine. So the smaller things such as reading, finding good music, and a lot of people are interested in ASMR. Things like this on TikTok can also speak as big volumes as something like fitness. It's the smaller things versus the bigger things. Now, when my laptop moves on slowly, in a second. There we go, it jumped ahead. I was expecting that. So what is this suggesting to us? Well, well-being and fitness is no longer just defined by exercise. Like I said, the stereotypical cardio, what we used to see, is not really what's beneficial and working on TikTok at the moment, because every single person is completely different, as TikTok shows us. So it's all about looking after the external factors and the internal factors like gut health or health conditions to help with that external fitness and our physical appearance as well. And fitness is not just used to lose weight or tone up, but it's used as a release of energy and stress too. So finding these things benefits things like mental health, and they tie in really nicely together. And then it's putting focus on simple activities that are making more of a general impact. Like I said, having a good routine and a structure is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially with fitness and mental health. Even things as simple as, you know, having a shower a day. A lot of people do struggle with that when they have things like depression and anxiety. So small changes, it's about gradual growth and becoming on that self journey plan rather than one massive change in one go. And that's why these transitions are really good. So when we look at content creators, how are they using all of these genres? So I mentioned Cami Sophia earlier, the fantastic Pilates queen she is. She'll be referenced a little bit further down the line, but what are they doing with fitness and wellness? Well, they're showing versions of transformations of themselves, and they're being relatable. They're being vulnerable, and they're showing that to themselves. So when I say watch your competitors, pardon me, a lot of people think, oh, stalk our competitors, should I be copying my competitors? Absolutely not. When I say watch your competitors, what I mean is watch what they're doing. If they're performing successfully on TikTok, they are speaking to the audience you also want to be speaking to. So if they're being vulnerable, if they're doing certain things that you think, okay, you can take note of what hashtags are working well for them, what sequence they're doing, what times they're posting, very small factors like that, which you can put your own flavor onto. So by doing this, they're inspiring others through their journey. So it's the idea of being relatable, showing the before and after through these sort of transformation videos. So the before is kind of where the audience are going to be sitting, where you're going to speak to people and motivate them. And then from there, we're really hoping people are going to be saving that post, sharing it, creating conversation and creating that community effect.
Shannon, sorry, just one note. We've had a few people message around your connection. Might be better to turn off your camera just to see if that improves it. Let's see if that works.
Camera has gone off. It's not a successful laptop day for me here. So hopefully that improves a little bit. Do reach out if my connection is poor again, and I can just hop onto Jin's webcam. So apologies for that, everybody. So Cami Sophia, who I discussed earlier, has really taken over the Pilates genre. And you may be thinking, how does this tie in with our brand? Well, it kind of shows something that may have not been as popular before is completely taking over. So she has millions and millions of views, as we can see here. And what she does is she shares her transformation of how Pilates has transformed her before and after. Like I said, she's putting herself in the audience's shoes. She's a very active girl. She cares about her gut health and her fitness and her food. But Pilates, for some reason, a very small amount of dedicated exercise and Pilates has completely changed her physique and mental well-being in a very short period of time, to the point where she's got millions of views and she's actually starting her own Pilates app. So it's really interesting of how you can not even have a brand, just be an independent freelancer content creator and become a brand from yourself. So she's a fantastic example of this. Now, next up, we do have fitness, fighting mental health through fitness once it loads. There we go. So she offers the idea of a safe space for people to go to, a community feel for it. As you can see, she's not a large content creator yet, but her views are really steady. And often we see, the views that are steady can be more significant than the followers. She's speaking to audiences. It means she's reaching that algorithm and she's becoming relatable. And then the final girl we have is Zoe Antonia. So she focuses a lot on fitness as well, but she offers the alternative by looking at hormonal conditions. So she has polycystic ovary syndrome, and she's very honest and vulnerable, like I said, online. And she shares things that maybe you wouldn't see the stereotypical influencer sharing online. So she has a lot of body hair, and she's very positive and body confident. So she's fantastic at showing that other side to her that maybe a lot of creators wouldn't do. And by doing that, you're going to start a community where people are going to trust in you and relate with you. So why they work so well, why they sell, like I said, they're relatable. They give a really clear message. So if you are a small brand or a small business starting out on TikTok, the key thing to remember is to not get ahead of yourselves. As much as it's fantastic as you start to grow, to add in that originality, your flavor, bring a new series to TikTok that hasn't been seen before. You do want to start with the basics. So these glow up videos are a huge opportunity to drive a lot of traffic and build a lot of brand awareness and to start conversations in the comment section. And it's also a fantastic opportunity for product placement for your business and brand. Without running TikTok ads, if you're doing organic content, you can easily show how a certain hobby or a certain product or a certain skincare routine changed your life or your routine and started to push that journey for you. So here we have an example of a glow up TikTok. I'm not sure if it will play, but it says POV, you hated your job, you were stuck in a relationship you hated, and your bad gut health was causing adult acne, anxiety, and depression. So really heavy content when you first look at it. But she's accumulated millions of views from this video, and she's got about 260,000 likes, which is really, really huge. She's top of this trending sound, which is really important. She's kind of dominated it with this. So although it's heavy content, she is kind of speaking to hopefully everyone here. At some point, I'm sure we've disliked our jobs or we've been stuck in a relationship we no longer desired, and we've had anxious or depressed periods. So it's that idea of being really vulnerable and showing that before and after, and then offering the suggestions to what changed that and what benefited yourself through these visual videos that we're seeing. So there you can see she's really upset. And then she's offering that happy alternative and showing body confidence and positivity. So if for a video like this, it would be a really good idea to add in a bit of a product placement. Ooh. For a bit of product placement. Do apologize. My screen's gone completely blank. So let me just catch up to where I was. So yeah, those types of videos are a really good idea to pop in a product placement, and it's really subtle. It's really subtle popping it in there, and it doesn't feel like ad heavy, and it's a really good way to sell a product. So we're seeing a lot of like Tala, Gymshark, those kind of companies just getting creators to make this organic content, and then wearing their products or mentioning a certain product that they've been using. So when we look at making successful TikToks, there's a lot of examples that have done really, really well in 2022, particularly a song called Evergreen. I'm not sure if anybody can relate with that one, but the chorus goes something like, you didn't deserve me at all. I would sing, but that would mean I have to charge everybody here for hearing my fantastic talent, so I won't be doing that. but it was one of these glow up trends where people were showing their vulnerable state compared to finding something that made them truly happy again. And then if we move on to the next one, the fitness strength trend, we had a lot of people showing their interest in weight training, which is really huge this year as well. A lot of people were maybe steering a little bit more away from cardio sports and finding the fun in fitness and weight training. So we're seeing a lot of women as well showing their stories, because a lot of gyms can sometimes be a lot of intimidating, and it's an intimidating environment for some people. I know, particularly for myself, when I walk in the gym and I head over to the weight section, it just all looks like too much. But with these kind of motivating videos and showing the time frame it took for oneself to get to this journey is really important. Now, if we move on to successful wellness TikTok, how we're making a successful wellness TikTok. So to start off with, it's really good to roughly plan your videos beforehand. What can you bring to the wellness genre? What are people going to feel relatable to? So like I said, keeping up with your competitors, understanding what they're looking for and what you can bring to that genre is really, really important. So showing behind the brand, customer testimonials, how certain things change their life, do those glow ups, or certain things that you don't see on TikTok. But as well as planning our videos, it's going to be really, really key as well to jump on these trends as they arise. Like I said, I kind of trialed it last night pre-webinar by doing my own glow up transition. And yeah, 60,000 views. So I was pleased with that. I'm not a wellness TikToker by any means, but it was just a good example to come on here today and to tell you guys, the performance driven, the statistics are there for things like that, jumping on those trends. And then again, filming in a familiar environment to your audience. So to start with, TikTok seems to love all these different types of videos and trends, but they are always going to be in love with those short, snappy videos. So like I said, if you're a smaller account, stick to these fast-paced, moving videos. You don't have long to captivate your community to begin with. So really try and do that. And then when we look at the filming in the environment, let's be basic. If we want to captivate the audience in the first few seconds, if we're cooking, let's go in the kitchen. If we're doing exercise, maybe let's try filming at the gym. If we're talking about mental health, let's light some candles. But let's create that atmosphere for people to relate to. And then for the final step, it is keeping up with the trends. Like I said, if you don't have some knowledge of TikTok, it's going to be really hard for you to understand this. So TikTok is literally changing every single day. Like Jin mentioned earlier, it's very reactive to one's algorithm, so it's constantly on the go. So keeping up with it is going to help navigate your competitors, what they're doing, what you need to be doing, and how proactive you need to be on the app. And then if we move on to how to utilize this success, we know, well, on TikTok, wellness works really well. So you can benefit from a lot of trends. From there, you want to bring more specific and original content to your audiences, such as what we saw with Kami Sophia, tutorials on how to achieve your progress, more about the product behind the brand. And it's going to build that one-on-one intimate relationship people have, because, it's all well and good to just put your brand on TikTok and say, hey, here's our product. Often that's not going to work. People want a little bit more than that. They want to see the raw content behind a brand. And then how do we put this in practice? Like I said, keep on top of those trends. Use the app for like 10 minutes every morning. You're actually going to be really surprised. You're going to find yourself sharing it, liking it, following it, going on. And something I tell my clients a lot is TikTok is more than just a platform or a search engine or social media. It is becoming a culture. If we take a step back and think about what clothes are trending at the moment, who's in the top charts, what food restaurants are doing really, really well, what jokes we're making to our family and friends, we'll often find that it all stems from TikTok, which is really fascinating. But of course, if you find it's a big commitment to keep on top of the app itself, then please feel free to sign up to my bi-weekly trending TikTok newsletter. I fill you in on everything on there. And then finally, where this genre is headed. So TikTok have recently opened their wellness hub in Singapore and in parts of America and other parts of Asia. And it's a really good indication to show that TikTok is being active with this genre. It's not often TikTok pick up on a genre and open a hub center for something like this. So now more than ever, your brand has an opportunity to jump on TikTok, your wellness, fitness, well-being before the hub center that TikTok opens is brought over to Europe. It's a really good indication that TikTok is on your side. They're on our side for wellness at the moment. It's a really positive indication that they are being proactive with this genre. And that is everything from myself.
Thank you so much, Shannon. And if you did miss parts of the presentation, then we will be circulating a recording so you can catch up on those bits that you might have missed. Great, on to me. And I'm going to be covering how you can target your customer better through TikTok. And in the true TikTok fashion, we've called it POA, your customer. Great. Let me go next slide. Okay, great. So firstly, I just want to clarify what the difference is between organic and paid best practice and the difference between them two. And then I'll go into how to create a winning paid TikTok. So we do see a lot of businesses confuse these two. They do have generally different best practices, but paid will be naturally something that you put budget behind. So this is where you have, let's say, a TikTok post and you are targeting a specific demographic that still appears on the For You or on the feed, but there's budget behind it and it's targeted at a specific audience. The organic side, that will be showed. If you create a TikTok organic, that will be showed to people who've engaged and interacted with similar posts. If you boost an organic post, then it will be called a spark ad, which you might have been hear TikTok refer to quite a lot. But why run TikTok organic alongside paid? Well, we've actually seen that when you do the two together, it actually results in twice the ROI. TikTok organic has a massive potential for your business in terms of reach. So we highly recommend investing money into paid so you can have a targeted approach, as well as running organic that can obviously build the brand visibility over time. It also means that people refer back to your TikTok profile and they feel like you understand or get TikTok. And this is really important. As you can see, 79% of Gen Zs feel that when businesses actually have an organic profile, they're more likely to buy from them. And on TikTok, creators play such a big part. So 30% of TikTok users are influenced by what creators do, and organic is a great place to actually utilize TikTok creators as well. Now, how to create a winning paid TikTok strategy. There are really two key success factors that we've seen with TikTok ads. One is really your creative, and the second is your post-click customer journey. Yes, targeting matters, but it doesn't matter as much as it used to. Focusing on your creative and focusing on that post-click customer journey, that's where your best bets are going to be in terms of generating results. But why does creative matter so much suddenly? And why are we moving away from segmentation or audience targeting? Well, the first thing it has huge impact on your results. So creative actually is 47% of your ad strategy. So yes, you can be amazing at optimizing all your campaign in terms of the content, the targeting, but if your creative is not working and it's not the best it could be, then it is going to reach a fatigue after a time. We highly recommend to focus more on creative. Secondly is the rise of TikTok. We expect more from creative now. Gone is the days where paid media marketers can just put product in front of people on a Facebook feed and expect people to buy. No, we demand more now as users because we've become suspicious of those posts. So we highly recommend come to it with a story and a hook and angle. And number three, something that impacted us a great deal is the iOS privacy update, which meant that we lost signal in terms of our ad campaigns. Overnight, on some campaigns, we saw 60% of data disappear. And that means that your campaigns, at the moment, will get less signal than it used to. And for that reason, we start to target more broad and not necessarily go after specific niche audience segments anymore. Your creative in this instance become your targeting then because you're going broad on your campaign settings. And the role of PMAX. So this is slightly in a different world away from paid social, but Performance Max is a Google campaign that they've introduced, and it basically depends more on automation. Creative then plays another big part in terms of Google trying to figure out where to place your ad as well. Creativity also needs process. It's not all of us sitting in a room just trying to be creative. There is a method to the madness that is creative. So firstly, we recommend that you need to define the problem, like what are you trying to solve with your product or your service? Then plan, so how can your brand solve the problem you are going after? And then build, so how can you actually build those ideas into a creative? And then analyze. It's not just about creative that looks pretty on the feed. It really is about what creative is driving results, and how do you understand and break that down even further. So at Push, we break creative down into 5 different areas and 5 different metrics. One of it, for instance, is your to basically stop your people scrolling on the screen, and we have a percentage that we would give to creative within the first 3 seconds. So how effective is it at stopping people on the feed? This is the process that we go through at Push. So we have a strategist, a performance strategist, and a creative strategist, and they would work together because the performance strategist is obviously very focused on the data and how things are performing on platform. The creative strategist will take these insights and then make sense of it and turn it into what we call hooks. The creative strategists then work with TikTok creators to create that content and to actually bring it to life. And then that goes into our performance team to test it and analyze it. And this is really a cycle that we go through again and again to scale up customers over time with creative. So how do you actually prepare a creative brief on TikTok or to a TikTok creator? Firstly, you need to understand your key selling points. So what is your background and story as a business? What do your clients want to achieve? How do you differentiate yourself against the competitors? There's so many competitors these days in a world where we can get drop shippers, get product from China and suddenly build a brand and then push your product. So really do understand how you can invest time in brand and storytelling to differentiate yourself over time. Then understand the pain point. Who is your audience? Who are they? What do they care about? What are the everyday problems that they might face? What do they want to achieve, and what do they care about, especially in the world of fitness? It's important to think about how do you bring about those motivations. And basically then you arrive at a hook. Your hook is the combination of pain points and your selling points, so it combines these 2 factors together. Okay, so this is a chart that we use within Push to really help break down your audience's motivations. This is based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so a very, I would say, old theory that underpins advertising, but actually it still has a place even when you look at a new channel like TikTok, because we think about how do we go to the self-actualization? How do we motivate them on that level? Or their self-esteem? How do we bring about love and belonging, speak to their security needs and physiological needs as well? And actually, if you look at the wellness category, you can go across this pyramid and think about different angles that you can speak to motivate your audience and customers. And this is our winning video framework that we use with TikToks. It is so important to grab your audience's attention within the first 3 seconds and have them stop scrolling on the feed. And this is where we bring about that hook pain point that I spoke to about earlier. So really important to have that within the first 3 seconds. Then you go into actually talking about the solution explanation and position your brand in terms of solving that problem, and end with a call to action. So many times we see brands not ending enough with a call to action. So it's great you tell me about your brand, but what do you actually want me to do as a next step? And just to show you how we managed to reduce a customer's CPA with this process. So they generate inquiries and their CPA, the overall CPA was £2.50. With this creative process, we actually managed to decrease it to 80 pence on TikTok. So we had one hook, and that hook was, are you being underpaid? We actually tested that hook alongside other hooks. We found that to be the winning one, and then we created different variations. So just to give you guys a really quick sense of what that looked like. So you can see here that basically is as easy as using sticky notes, showing the actual place where they need to go inquire, and have the hook written down on a sticky note. And then based on that, we created different variations of that using the same hook in the first 3 seconds, but just changing up what comes after. And that's a really easy way for you to create more creatives for TikTok, but not necessarily have a different concept for each. Use the same hook, just change what you show after the first 3 seconds. Okay, let's see if it's playing game. Okay, Neil, do you mind going to the next slide? I think my mouse is no longer controlling it. There we go. Okay, and we did this again. So having Shannon in-house is a massive benefit to the businesses we work with, because she is a TikTok creator. She comes from that world. She fully understands it. And when she created paid ads for our customers using our methodology of testing, she again managed to reduce their CPA by 40% within the first month. So it's a massive achievement if you follow this framework of testing. Okay, and to end, here is our TikTok ads editing checklist. So these are the things that you absolutely must have if you're creating paid TikTok ads. So firstly, design and add one of our hooks within the first frame. Focus on the first second, really draw someone's attention within the first second. Check for a safe space on the ad. So a lot of times we create ads and then we upload it as TikToks, and a lot of the text or the TikTok features actually cover the text. So just make sure you design for safe space, and use only TikTok's commercial-free library with ads. You can't use any copyrighted music when you're actually creating ads. Use trends in concept, but don't use trending voices, because with paid TikTok you can't actually use trending voices. Use text overlay always and bring that hook forward. End with a strong CTA and change the scene every 3 seconds so people keep watching. Great, and that is me done. I'm going to hand over to you now.
Perfect. Thanks. So yeah, I'm going to talk through surviving the recession. So all clients combined at Push have been seeing an increase in CPCs, especially between May to August in 2021 and at the end of April in 2022. So this is really when people started to get away after lockdowns ended, search interest online dropped, and therefore led to an increase in CPCs. And while CPCs might be high and you're maintaining a ROAS, what we've seen is this has led to less sessions, so therefore less overall conversions through websites, lower revenue. So there's 3 main reasons why this is happening. So number one is the increased funding resulting in digital advertising spends being very high. So digitally native vertical brands are spending at least 40% of their money on the platforms, including Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and TikTok. You've got increased competition from other digitally native vertical brands. So with the emergence of new tools like Shopify Capital for financing options, it's easier than ever to create a digital brand. and the increased ad costs due to the law of ineffective click-throughs. So essentially, as you scale and as you cast your net wider, the quality of traffic you try and go after decreases. So just going into what does LTV versus CAC mean? So CAC refers to your customer acquisition cost. So how much does it acquire? How much does it cost for you to acquire a new customer? And then your customer lifetime value is how much on average does a customer spend with you once you've acquired them? And just looking at the ratio and the importance of this. So you can see here, LTV, lifetime value, is made up of three main factors. It's your margin percentage of the product or service, the number of purchases a consumer makes with you, and the average order value of those purchases. And then your customer acquisition cost more or less refers to your sales and marketing efficiency. So it's really important to understand the relationship between these, because when your LTV CAC ratio is below 1, your business will be taking a loss to fuel its growth, which is unsustainable in the long run. However, if it's above 1, you'll be creating sustainable growth. As brands grow and your customers get less qualified, so the lifetime value drops, this lowers the ratio. And on the other side, when CPCs are increasing, your customer acquisition cost increases. So this is always a balance, and it's really important to understand the relationship between the two and what the two are for you at the moment. So this is kind of showing the importance of what cost per click can do to a business. So this is an example business, but you can see here we've got 2020, 2021, and 2022 hypothetically. You've got the same number of clicks, same conversion rate, same average order value, purchase frequency is 1, number of acquired customers, everything is the exact same. But the one thing that's changed here is you can see the cost per click has increased from 64p to £1.33 and so on. What happened here is the LTV CAC ratio at the bottom moves from 2.3 to 1.1 to then 0.8. So they're not actually able to grow the business sustainably. So how does this affect you? So your new customer acquisition digital marketing channels are only one part of your marketing mix. So you can see the paid search channels, the paid channels like paid search, paid social, affiliates, influencers, and SEO are only one part, and it's intrinsically linked to the monetization team, which is the part that builds into lifetime value. So you've got conversion rate, average order value, and repeat purchases. And a brand can have a world-class new customer acquisition strategy, but if the retention team is failing to keep customers efficiently, the business will not be profitable, and therefore the growth will be adversely affected. And therefore, it's really important to understand what your customer acquisition costs can be based upon your lifetime value. So then just looking at a 60-day lifetime value importance. So here you can see the biggest issue with lifetime value is the time it takes to fully realize what a customer is worth to a company. So if you get someone to convert now, but you wait then a year's time for them to convert again, that's going to have an impact on your cash flow. Whereas a 60-day lifetime value framework allows you to maximize their value within the first 60 days to not have that impact on the cash flow. So the way it's worked is looking at how much a customer spends with you within the first 60 days. So that is total revenue from customers 60 days, and then divided by the total number of new customers you've got. So in this real life example here, you've got first purchase average order value of £100,000. Month 2, say those people that you acquired 1,000 people and they spent £100,000. In the next month, those customers spend an extra £15,000, and in month 3 they spend an additional £25,000. You can see that the actual revenue that those customers generate is £140,000. So while you might be setting your customer acquisition costs on £100 average order value and working back what your break-even profit is from those, if you actually do that to £140, you can understand you can be a lot more aggressive in your customer acquisition cost to try and acquire those customers. So there's 4 well-known ways to measure lifetime value via cohorts. So one is time period. So for example, number of people who purchase for you over Black Friday and seeing how much they purchase over Christmas and then potentially January sales. Campaign audience, obviously for wellness, you could have specific fitness groups by weightlifters or crossfitters or cyclists, all in their own cohorts or audiences. And you can understand what the different lifetime value of those audiences is, and also understand what the customer acquisition cost of their life cycle is. Is there a specific discount type that attracts a higher lifetime value customers? So specifically in January, where there's going to be a peak in people looking for fitness and wellness products with that New Year's boost, is it actually better to bundle products and try and get a higher average order value, because that generates a better quality of customer in that 60-day lifetime value, rather than discounting, taking a hit on that first purchase and trying to recoup them later down the line, which is a lot more difficult? And SKUs, are there specific SKUs or products or services that attract higher lifetime value customers than others? And what if my lifetime value doesn't really grow that much in the first 60 days? Then it's all about maximizing that first order average order value via bundles, upsells, cross sells, and minimum thresholds. So if you're running a gym and you're trying to get a new membership sign up for January, can you actually, instead of offering a 3 months trial, can you offer 3 months for the price of 2 months? So at least then you're getting the 3 months upfront cost. There's less likely that they'll churn longer term. So therefore, you're really maximizing the lifetime value of that customer. If you're a supplements brand and you're trying to increase the lifetime value, can you add on bundles? So if they're only going to buy 2 bottles, can you sort of do an upsell at the checkout of, add another one in and get 10% off your order? Can you cross sell some other vitamin? Or can you add in a minimum threshold where order over £100 worth of goods and get free delivery? So one key way of doing this is by your mailing list. However, it's not good enough really to just allow them to be added to your mailing list without any kind of strategy behind it. So in here, you can see we've got awareness, customer, and retention strategies within email. And you can automate these flows when people sign up. So it goes right through from a welcome flow to abandoning cart, they add to cart, they've not purchased, can you give them a discount offer? Then once they have become an offer, can you upsell them? Can you cross-sell them? If they've run out of that supplement, can you send them a replenishment email? So if you know that the average person runs out of the product within 30 days, okay, on day 26, let's send them a replenishment email so it's there before they've run out. And then there's back in stock emails. And then it's really about generating loyalty. So can you get reviews? Can you get the customer to come back? And that's really where you're going to grow the profit for lifetime value, is in that retention phase. So again, due to recurring nature of subscription-based business, especially in the health and wellness industry, understanding LTV and CAC is crucial to longevity of brands. So with LTV, I'd definitely recommend understanding what your current 60-day lifetime value is. Are there any seasonal patterns in your LTV analysis? So understand how much a customer is worth to you to inform your January offer discount. Can you offer bundles instead of a flat discount, like I mentioned previously? Does that generate a higher lifetime value? Then work on ways to increase your 60-day lifetime value to improve profitability. So always look at ways to improve your conversion rate, always look at ways to improve your average order value, and try and get people to purchase as often as you possibly can. And then within the customer acquisition cost, so which channels are driving that awareness and desire parts of the funnel, and which convert? I think the key thing with TikTok, with the organic side of it, is don't devalue your brand awareness. That is really crucial in building your brand, and that will factor into bringing down your overall customer acquisition costs, as Jin alluded to previously. So yeah, that's all from me. If you've got any questions, please do let us know.
Thank you, Neil. That was really useful and so valuable. It might seem technical, but it's so important that everyone understands their lifetime value, especially where you're going to go for customers in January and you want to increase your acquisition at that time. I'm going to quickly cover off our offer that we have to businesses. So I took you through our creative framework, our creative testing. We are actually launching our own training in a few days' time in December, and you will be the first to gain access to that training if you sign up to the waiting list. So if I can go to the next slide, Neil. What we are basically going to cover and what it includes is our proven TikTok planning framework. This is for our paid ads, so you will get the templates that we use, our organic planning framework, 50 TikTok hooks to get started. So these are the hooks that we've seen work incredibly well across our channels. What to test in the first 3 seconds cheat sheet, so give you ideas of where to start, our TikTok ads checklist, and how to use TikTok for inspiration, and how to stay up to date with trends, how to create an organic profile and use your best practice, and a guide on how to use TikTok and other tools to edit. So if you sign up to our waiting list, you will get all this for £99, and the price will go up to £500. So it's an incredible value. It's everything that we've developed over the last 2 years running TikTok, you will gain access to. There will be an email right after this session in your inbox where you can sign up to the waiting list, and it will launch early December. Thank you so much everyone for attending. Thank you for sticking with us. If you want to talk to us about running campaigns for January for your wellness business or health and fitness, Push has lots of experience, so do reach out to us. You'll be able to reach me via email. It's Gineke, Gineke @pushgroup.co.uk. So do reach out to me if you're interested, and have a lovely day everyone.